preview for 2021 season, and it's the Roosters this year. And this time with Dane, he's a massive Roosters fan, and we just want to have a bit of a chat and see what his thoughts are about his team heading into 2021. Going to be probably thereabouts, and also just have a quick thought about Dane. How long you been a Roosters fan for, and what made you a Roosters man?
Oh, look, I've been a Roosters fan for about 40 years now, even though I'm only 36. So yeah, well before I was born. Now, look, I started following the Roosters when my family, their background is following the Bulldogs, unfortunately, and I started watching Matty Singh play, and he really caught my eye, and I decided to sort of deflect and go my own way. And obviously they've had a lot of success prior to me watching league and everything else. But then they've developed into a pretty strong club in the last sort of 10 years or so. And yeah, it was really off the back of Matty Singh, and they're known as the Glamour Club, and they've got a lot of cash and all that sort of stuff. And look, I just really like the outfit, and I think they've done some good things over the last sort of 10 to 12 years. So.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll get stuck into the preview. First of all, I just wanted to ask your thoughts on what the best signing is for the club for 2021.
Yeah, look, the Roosters have really kept the same squad for this year again. And I suppose the only notable good signing that I think the Roosters have sort of picked up is Joseph Suolai from the Rabbitohs. Bit of controversy there with clauses in his contract and this and that, and the Roosters are willing to accommodate that. And I think the Roosters do that quite well when it comes to contracts and getting players like your Sonny Bills and certain clauses if he wants to go and box or what have you. And he wanted that clause in his contract to potentially go and play union once his contract's up. So, and they're also pushing to see if they can get an exemption to get him to play in the NRL this year. And I don't know if they'll bend the rules because he's not 18 yet, but I really can't wait to see him hit the park. If it's this year, fantastic. If it's 2022, then so be it. But there's been a lot of hype, a lot of talk around him, and I think he's a great signing for the Roosters. So.
Yeah, got to echo your thoughts there. I think he's a magnificent signing. He's obviously a freak. We've all seen the videos, and it's just a matter of when, not if, he's going to be part of that squad and making his imprint in the NRL. And I mean, if there's the old saying, if you're good enough, you're old enough. We're soon going to find out if the NRL sticks by that and puts him in and includes him in the team. He's not going to get to play fullback, obviously, with Teddy, but I can guarantee he's probably going to become a very good centre and probably start off on the wing and go from there. So interesting times ahead for that one. What about your biggest loss for the season, obviously from 2020? Who did you find the biggest loss?
Look, I think the biggest loss, and I'm still disappointed by it, is Kyle Flanagan. I think he was doing all the right things. He's a goal kicker. He was the leading point scorer for most of the 2020 season. And I still don't think he can comprehend why he was let go. And I think that is a big loss for the Roosters because I felt that he fit in well and he was bonding and gelling well with Keary. And yeah, I think he's a big loss for our club, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And I also mentioned just the fact Mitch Orbison retired. I think he's been the stopgap solution, the Mr. Fix-It guy for that club for quite a number of years, and he's always done a good job, whether he was playing second row, centre, 5'8", or hooker, wherever they put him. So I think he's going to be a bit of a loss for the club, just for that Fix-It type solution with injuries as well. So just in terms of a key reason for success this year for the Roosters, where are you seeing that being?
Look, key reasons for success, I think first and foremost, they've kept relatively the same outfit, bar sort of like your Lachlan Lamb coming in at half, and I think there's a bit of a fight for that half-back spot with some other younger players as well. Keeping that same outfit, it keeps the same foundations and fundamentals from last year, and then they can improve and grow off that and hopefully improve their overall game and playing 80 minutes of football, because I think that's where the Roosters sort of lack. They can come out of the blocks really, really quick and then, sort of shut off a little bit towards the end, and they might just get run over. But I think keeping the same players is going to be key to their success. And also on the back of having Sam Verrills and Victor Radley back as well, I think that's going to add a huge boost to the squad. And, effectively they got their A team on the park. Hopefully they're injury free. And they can sort of build off the back of that.
100%. And I don't want to pick out individuals, but just having Teddy's there is also a key factor for mine. Just he's the best player in the world at the moment, and I think that oozes confidence for other players in that team if they can see him at the back doing what he does, and just helps pick the team up and go from there. What are your thoughts in terms of the biggest concern for the year? What as a fan are you thinking? Oh, well, I don't know about this.
Yeah, the biggest concern, I've got a couple of concerns, and one is the halfback position. Lachlan Lamb, whether he comes good and fits in well with the squad and can sort of steer the team around the park and puts in that kicking game that they say that he's got. I haven't really seen enough of him to really say that, yeah, he's a dead set through and through NRL halfback, and he's made to play at the top level and for one of the top clubs as we see it at the moment. So I think that's a bit of a concern, the halfback spot, and just how Lachlan Lamb goes with that, or whether, they do what they did to Kyle Flanagan and they give him 8 games, and then he goes for a bit of a rest, somebody else comes in and they start from scratch again. I don't think that will be good for the team and good for results. The other concern is, in recent news, is Boyd Cordner. So looking like he's going to be sitting out for 6 months on medical advice. I think he's a big loss. He is a leader. He is a meter eater. I think that's a bit of a concern as well. And there is talk that he may potentially be in early retirement, pending what the medical staff say. So they're the two main concerns for the club at the moment. And then again, just injuries in general. Hopefully some of the older guys like your Morris twins and Jake Friends and so forth can, get through uninjured, and Sam Verrills and Victor Radley don't, reactivate any recent injuries that they've just overcome. So yeah.
Yeah, I think 100% correct. And then I'd probably throw in Keary as well, just in terms of the HIAs. He does seem to pick up a couple, and I know the Roosters as a club are very protective of their players when it comes to that sort of thing, which is great to see. But you just have the feeling to think that maybe if he gets 1 or 2 early ones, you don't know if they're going to rest him for the season or something like that. So, and kudos to the club. It's brilliant they're looking after their players, but it's also cause for concern about success when 2 of your key players have got that sort of pressure with their HIAs and the history they have of it. I think with your Lachlan Lamb comments as well, 100% agree. And it's also a good thing about the timing of when they introduce Sam Walker to first grade, and if he's going to be good enough and handle it. I know there's a lot of raps for him. He's a young kid, and the future of the club is on his shoulders from many inside the Roosters club. It's just about when do they actually introduce him, and if he handles it early on. So we've got all that, but what are your final thoughts, and what's your finishing position for the Roosters?
Yeah, I think I see them finishing around the 4th or 5th. I'd like to see them finish higher up. But yeah, look, I think they're going to be strong. They're probably going to have a few games that they probably should win and just don't for whatever reason. That's just normally how the season rolls out for the Roosters. But yeah, look, I see them. They are a top 4 side for mine, but yeah, I'm saying just around that top 4, top 5 is where I sort of see them finishing. So
yeah, 100%. I think that just a couple of aging stars, it's fair to say, and obviously the Cordner situation. You got your Morris twins and things like that. And you got probably Ria Hargraves, which is obviously on the back end of his career. So there's a couple of aging stars where you just start to think the Morris twins are probably on their last season as players, and obviously they had very good years last year, but 6 months is a long time in the NRL, especially after a pre-season. So interesting to see how they come back. You do have some good kids in the ranks though, which a lot of fans are excited about seeing. As I've mentioned, your Walkers and your Sawalis. Manu's pretty young still for a centre, and he's probably one of the best centres in the game. So there is some good young kids coming through to keep that club up. It's just going to be an interesting transition period, I think, for the Roosters over the next 12, 18, 24-month period, just to see how they balance it up. But obviously Trent Robson is a brilliant coach, probably one of the best in the game, and I think he's managed the Roosters since being there pretty much perfectly, and I think he'll continue to do the same for your club. I've got him in that 4 to 6 window. I think there's going to be a few clubs in between that little group of teams, and it'll just be about, I reckon, a big thing this year will be about timing finals runs for teams and getting thereabouts. So I do appreciate you coming on, Dane, and talking about your team. Good luck to the Roosters this year. I hope they're there towards the back end and for you fans, and hopefully we see some of your good young kids coming through.